Hey everyone, welcome back to another plan with me. This week we are going to be using this kit from my sticker shop, which is called Hello Christmas. If you would like to purchase this kit for your own planner, I will have a link to it down below to my Etsy planner sticker shop. So last week I did a double plan with me on Saturday and on Sunday, and my Sunday topic was all about the TikTok ban, or lack of a ban, I guess. It really didn't last very long at all, and I had a gut feeling that that was pretty much what it was going to be like. I just didn't realize it was going to be that quick. Honestly, I thought it was going to be banned for a couple days and it would be back, but turns out it was only about 14 hours, something like that. It definitely was not banned very long at all, and everything is pretty much back to normal as it was. So it's kind of like, okay, what was all of this for? So I guess TikTok has been extended. Who knows if it'll actually stay gone or not. I really don't think anything's going to happen. And even in the title of my plan with me, I put TikTok officially is getting banned, and then in parentheses, or is it? But I'm not surprised at all. Like I said, I thought maybe it'd get banned for a couple days, but it definitely came back a lot quicker than I thought it would. So in other news, I have been watching The Crown with my mom. That is like a show that we'll watch together, and we have been watching it for so long. I feel like we've been watching it for probably like 2 years now. It's what it feels like. I am very sad to say that we have finally finished it. It has taken us so long to watch it because we literally only watch it when we're together. So every once in a while we'll get together, watch some episodes and things like that. So it really has taken us quite a while to get through all 6 seasons, but we finally finished it last night, and I have to say I kind of have like the post show blues where like you finish a really good show and you're just like, okay, what do I do now? But also I kind of feel like it hasn't fully sunk in yet, because I feel like the next time like we want to watch an episode, and obviously The Crown is over now, I feel like that's when it's really going to hit me like it's over. But honestly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts about The Crown, because I thought it was just such a really good show. And I was not someone who was very familiar with like the British royal family, and I really didn't know like all the family dynamics between them all. And of course, like some stuff in the show is like dramatized and, you know, not super accurate, but I feel like a lot of the stuff from what I've read, a lot of the show was pretty accurate. Obviously, as they progress through the years, the actors have to age up as well. So for every 2 seasons in The Crown, there is a different ensemble cast who are playing all of the royal family members. So I really got attached to Claire Foy, who was the original Queen Elizabeth in her younger years, and she was just such an amazing actress. I love her so much. I feel like her portrayal of Elizabeth was very good. I just thought she was such a wonderful like young Queen Elizabeth. So whenever I got to like season 3, when they had the new older Queen Elizabeth, kind of like the middle-aged one, I think she was played by Olivia Colman, and she was really good as well. The only thing that was kind of throwing me off about her is that Elizabeth has like those very light clear blue eyes, and she had like hazel or like darker brown eyes or something like that, and that was the only thing about her portrayal of Queen Elizabeth that was kind of throwing me off, was just that like her eye color wasn't the same. But other than that, like her portrayal of Elizabeth was really good too, but she definitely brought a different side of like Elizabeth that in the beginning, in the first 2 seasons, like you almost feel like you're very rooting for her and you want to see her succeed and things like that. But then whenever you get to like season 3 and 4, you kind of just see like more of the wear that the crown had on her, and how she kind of had to harden herself maybe a little bit is kind of the best way I can describe it. But you really just kind of see that progression through the characters. And then of course, once you get to season 5 and 6, which is the final 2 seasons of the show, there is another recasting of everybody for the elderly Elizabeth, and she was played by, I think, Imelda Staunton. Is that her name? I think that's her name. Let me look it up, actually. Okay, yes, her name was Imelda. I think it's Staunton. I don't know if it's Staunton or Staunton, but either way, she was the elderly Queen Elizabeth, and I also thought she brought such an amazing energy to the role of Queen Elizabeth in her later years, and it was just really interesting to watch her grow up through the years, and all these like historical moments that she went through and things like that was very interesting. But the show dives even more into just like, not even just Elizabeth, but like Prince Philip and her family and her kids, her sister Margaret, and her very troubled life and things like that. There were just so many different facets of the royal family that I really wasn't familiar with at all. And I mean, even like learning about Charles and Anne. We don't really learn too much about Andrew and Edward. They're not really as prominent in the show. Learning about like Camilla Shand or Camilla Parker Bowles, and just kind of how her relationship with Charles and how all of that went down. And then learning about like Diana Spencer and how she came to be married to Charles, and just their whole mess of a marriage was just so interesting to like watch. And like I said, I know a lot of the show was kind of dramatized and stuff, but I think for the most part a lot of it was really based in fact and accuracy and things like that. And it was just such a devastating story to like watch, especially whenever we get to the part where Princess Diana passes away. That was just such a very sad, emotionally charged kind of season. So that one was definitely some hard episodes to get through for sure. And even on into the last several episodes of the 6th season, you know, we learned a little bit more about like Harry and William and Kate and all of that. And I just kept telling my mom, I'm like, it's so crazy. This is just such a different type of show where it's like a dramatized show, but it's based on real people that are like still alive and still living and watching the show. But one other thing that I really loved about the show was just like how beautifully shot it was. I mean, whenever they would show like the castles or the interiors or even like the landscapes in Scotland, and oh my gosh, that was just such a beautifully done show. And I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. Like I said, I was not very familiar at all with like the ins and outs of the British family, but you really do kind of learn a lot about them and what their life was like, I guess. I think if you have any type of like fascination or interest in like monarchy or history or anything like that, I think it's a really great show. And I know I am totally like the last person in the world to ever get on bandwagons and stuff. Like the show like came out in 2016. I was like, it was totally not on my radar at the time. I had like just graduated college at that time, and this show was just not in my periphery of life. And I think the show concluded in, I think 2023. So you guys know I'm like well far behind everything. I'm not typically one to stay up on the trends and watch them while they're popular or big or anything like that. But this was just one of those shows, like if it's always been in the back of your mind and you're like, oh yeah, I think I want to watch The Crown, but you know, I'll get to it when I get to it. This is me saying, if you have that interest to watch the show, you will be so hooked. The very first episode, I was like a little unsure because I felt like it kind of moved a little bit slowly in the beginning, but I loved how beautiful the show was, so I really wanted to like commit to it, and I am so glad I did. It was just one of those shows that it kind of like would blow my mind every episode, just because I never quite knew like what the next story was going to be or what the next historical moment was going to be. And I feel like they did just such an amazing job at telling the stories of the last, 50 years. It was really just an amazing show. And if you have not seen it and you think that you have some interest in it or would like to see it, I am telling you, absolutely, you must check it out. You will totally be hooked if you are into the kind of like monarchy kind of shows, or even if you like historical fiction kind of things. Even though this is all still based on a lot of real life things, it definitely still had that kind of dramatic flair that was just so entertaining. It was an amazing show, and I have nothing but high praises to say about it. All right, guys, so that is it for this plan with me. Like I always say, it's always hard for me to come up with topics to talk about, but this one was definitely just right on my mind since we finished watching the show last night, and it's just one of those ones that really leaves like a little bit of a hole in your heart once it's gone. So once again, I will have a link to this planner sticker kit if you would like to purchase this to use in your own planner shop. I will have it linked below, and that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.